Okay. All right, this is gonna be a demonstration to get started with the one-point perspective aerial cityscape drawing that we're gonna work on. Okay, so um, now this is a pretty simple assignment. You know, as long as you have like a pretty a good understanding of perspective and how it works. You know, hopefully you've had some experience with perspective in your Art 1 or previous art or drawing classes, but if not, though, I'm just going to kind of go step by step with like how to approach and do this drawing. So, you know, it's pretty easy, going to be pretty easy to follow along. So with this assignment, though, you know, we're not really going to do like a practice assignment or anything, though, but we're just going to kind of go straight into like the main project. Just a couple of things to be, you know, really mindful of, though. You know, obviously we're going to work with pencil. We're going to use a ruler to do most of the drawing. You know, just real important though, just make sure to take your time with the drawing and draw very lightly. Okay, so you always want to draw lightly so you know we can easily erase the mistakes that we make. Okay, because you know, in terms of like perspective drawing and this is kind of like old school like draftsmanship. If you were to do like interior exterior designing, you know, you have to draw lightly with the pencil because you're always going to be making adjustments, changes, you know, throughout your entire drawing. Okay, so we're gonna draw a couple of different things though before we're gonna start with the drawing. So very first thing is you're gonna draw a dot in the middle of the page. Okay, so just draw a dot in the middle of the page. You get close to the middle. Mine is exactly in the middle, but this is gonna be what we call the vanishing point. So this is like where all the points and things in perspective that kind of get smaller and disappear into that space. So eventually, when we get to like that point, though, it's completely gone. So all your converging lines are gonna go towards this one point here. So you're gonna do like some diagonal lines going there for your buildings. And then we're gonna draw two or one horizontal and one vertical line. So just to make things a little bit interesting, though, I do want you guys to do like the horizontal line a little bit at a diagonal. So it doesn't have to be like a crazy diagonal like this, but just like at a slight angle. Okay, this will actually make your perspective in buildings a little bit more dynamic than normal. So usually we have this horizontal line, though, follow the line of like you know, it's basically the horizontal line that kind of separates the ground from the sky. But this is just gonna help us to determine the top part of our building. Okay, and then your vertical line, though. And again, you can do this at a slight angle. So I probably do it at the opposite angle. So I'm gonna do this one at a slight angle this way here. I'm not sure how it would look if we do it the other way though, but you know, if it doesn't work though, then obviously doing the opposite way. Okay, so we have, you know, your dot in the middle, vertical line, so this line that goes up and down, and then you have your horizontal line here. Okay, so we got a couple lines to work here. Okay, so we're gonna draw the first part of the building. So when you draw the first part of the building, though, you want to draw it in the you know, between the vertical line here. So we're gonna draw one line going in one direction over here, and this is gonna be really close to like the you know, the middle of the page. So we're gonna draw one line going here, and then we're gonna draw one line going there. So you actually have that line going all the way to the vanishing point if you need to. But you know, just make sure this ruler is lining up with the vanishing point. Okay, now this first building that you draw, though, this building is going to be, you know, you're only going to see like one side of the building. So we're only going to see this one side here. And depending on if we're drawing a building on this side or that side, though, you're going to see like either the left or the right side. And I'll let you know which one you end up seeing, though, when you move on your drawing. So we have using converging lines here. Okay, and then this horizontal line that we drew earlier. Okay, this is going to be the top of the building. Okay, so you want to make sure this line is perpendicular with the top of the building. Okay, so I'm gonna draw this a little bit lower just to kind of show you a couple of things. Actually, we can do it like right here. Okay, so just make sure this line lines up with this line here. Okay, otherwise it's gonna look kind of wonky if it doesn't. So it's gonna look like this. So okay, the first part of your building is gonna look like this. So if I were to draw this darker, I actually draw these lines a little bit darker now. And I can draw this line darker here, this line darker there. But again, before you make it darker, just make sure everything looks correct. And this line right here. Okay. And then you can erase like the other diagonal lines you have here. So we can erase this line here, there. I'm still going to keep this line here though, just because this is an important line to keep. Okay, but we have one side of the building done right here. Okay, now if you were to draw more buildings on this side here, so let's just say I wanted to draw like another building on this side over here. I'm gonna do one line over here. I'm gonna keep it kind of close because I want to keep the buildings pretty closely together. Actually, I kind of spread out a little bit more. And again, you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing. It's just, you know, I'm just showing you guys generally what to do. So I'm gonna do one side right here. So I'm actually gonna keep the buildings about the same height. I'm gonna do one more line over here. So I'll make this building a little bit more narrower. You know, I'm just kind of curious to see how like things would look if I were to draw another building over here. Okay, now this line right here, if you wanted to keep the buildings the same height, you know, you can just line it up like this real easily. So this will keep it like the same height. Now you can make it a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, it's up to you, or you keep it the same. Yeah, it depends on what you want to do. So I'm gonna keep this one the same height though. As, you know, some buildings they like to stay the same height. Okay, so got those two buildings there, and then this is the fun part about this part. So this part of the building on this side, so if it ever goes on the right side of the line, you're always going to see the left side of the part of the building. Okay, so this is where this other line comes from. Okay, so you want to line this up perpendicular with the other line, or not perpendicular, parallel. So this is going to show me this side of the building here. Okay, since we have a more dynamic perspective though, you know, that line's going to look a little bit more extreme, but this line should line up with, you know, these two lines should line up together, this line and that line. Okay, real simple. Okay, now if you wanted to add like different layers to your building, you know, if I wanted to, I can do like a multi-layer building. I could add like, you know, another layer to this. So if I wanted to add like a different level to the building, I could, you know, add like another line right here, another line right there. So I'm gonna make this part of the building a little bit more narrower. So you can do fun things like this with a building if you wanted to make it a little bit taller. So I'm gonna make this a little bit taller. I'm gonna, you know, top of my building here. Again, just line it up together. Okay, so got those two lines there, and then again, this line is going to, whoops, converge down this way again. So lining these two up again because I'm only showing the sides of it. And then if I wanted to draw another line here, I guess I could. So I do want to make this part a little bit more narrower. It may look a little funny because of the like a really weird tangent here, but yeah, I don't think I would keep that there. But you know, I'm probably gonna put it on top of it though, so I'm gonna draw this line here, and then I'm gonna draw another line down this way over here. I don't want to make it too narrow, but this actually looks a little bit more natural. Okay. So that's if you wanted to add more buildings to it, and then if you really wanted to, you know, you can go super narrow with, you know, if you wanted to, you can even add like a line here. Maybe not a line, but like, I'm gonna add like, you know, like a really sharp point in the building. Yeah, I can make this a circle here. So if I want to add like a little, you know, I don't know, a little antenna tower. Okay, so. Okay, but you know, pretty much you'll just kind of rotate around the drawing. But you know, kind of the same rules will apply like before. So if I were to keep drawing more lines over here, you know, I can do more vertical lines. So I'd always extend the lines a little bit longer than you need it to be, just because you know, it gives you a better idea or better scope of like, you know, where the buildings need to be. So I'm gonna do a line here, line there. Okay, now this part is where the top of my building would be. Okay, so always the horizontal, that's the top. So I'm lining up with the top right here. Okay. So that's the top of my building. And then this part is the side of my building now. So again, I'm on this side now. So now I'm seeing this side right here. See how this is lining up with this side and that side. So it's kind of like the opposite of like what we just did there. And as it's getting closer to that vanishing point, just kind of be careful because like the lines get like super skewed. So my suggestion is either have it kind of near the sides though, or either have it overlap, or just have it blank. You know, this side will probably keep it blank though. So now I have to draw another line over here. This is gonna show off like this side of the building for me. Okay. So you just pretty much keep continuing with the drawing. So let's just say I want to draw like one more building over here. And I did another one over there. So since this is in between the two buildings, we don't see either side. It's just going to be one side that we see. So I'm going to just keep it the same size. But, you know, I'm going to put it up here. Okay, I don't have to worry about showing the sides because it's intersecting in the vertical line here. So this one's going to be, well, actually I don't want to erase that, but yeah, this one I'm only going to see like the middle. Okay, same building here. All right, I'm going to make this one a little bit, actually I'm going to just keep drawing more lines over here. I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter. Let's just say I hypothetically wanted to make the building the same size. You know, because, you know, a lot of buildings, they are usually the same size. I want to keep them kind of the same length. So right here is pretty good. And, you know, your buildings don't have to be the same length. They can be all different. But, you know, I'm going to keep this all the same. Just because, you know, sometimes uniformity is really nice. But, you know, this building here, though, since it's on this side here, I see this side of the building here. Okay, so this line you would have to match up with that line. So this has got to be parallel with that line. Okay, so if you understand those few rules, though, you know, the perspective is going to look correct as you're drawing more and more of these buildings. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep just drawing this just to show you guys more of it, but you know, if I were to, yeah, always start with the vertical lines. So let me do this one a little bit taller than the other ones. So this line here, always make sure it's touching the point, that line there. This horizontal is the top of my building again. And this is the side of it. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw another line here to show the sides. And then if you wanted to, you can even layer the building. So, you know, if I wanted to even draw like another one over here on top of this building, it could be really neat. You know, I could do one more over top of this one here. Okay. So I'm gonna do this line right here. I gotta continue this line, so sometimes you gotta just continue the line if you need to. All right, and then this line's over here like this. Okay. So So you can't even layer buildings on top of other buildings, which could be really neat to do. Although you probably won't have as much sky left though. Okay, hopefully that makes sense though. But yeah, just let me know if you need help or have any questions. But you know, it's either you do the drawing correctly or it's either gonna look correct or not correct. So just let me know if you need help with it though. All right.